Hi, my name's Mark, I'm from All Star Entertainment. Today I'm going to give you a walkthrough on the Pioneer RMX-1000. Right then, the first part that we're going to look at is the X-Pad effects. Right then, this strip here, this controls the speed of the roll. Sample and repeat over and over at that speed, faster. So down here is quite slow, that's like a 2-beat sample and repeat. 1, halves, eighths, 16ths. I might have got that wrong, that might be 8, 16s, 32s. Right, and next to the X-Pad effects we've got the pitch control. So when I turn this, it's going to adjust the pitch of the roll. Right, next to the pitch button, you can see how that might be useful. We have got the X-Pad level. This is when you're in roll mode, this is dry wet. When you're using samples, this is the actual level of the sample. So you can use it to control what the volume or the velocity. Right, and so if I press this, it's going to engage the sample and repeat. And this is dry wet. And it comes back in time. The BPM function in this is pretty accurate. You can hear it when you use that one. Right, above these two knobs we've got the bank button. This is in case you want to load in your own samples. What you do is you flick it over to user mode, press bank, and then you can either select bank 1, 2, 3 or 4, and these pads will then be the samples that you've loaded in your remix box software. Right, so let's have a look at these sample buttons. The stock sounds that they give you with the RMX are really cool 909 ones, and the tails on them are adjustable within the software. They sound really nice. Can't fault them at all on this one. Right, next to the sample buttons, you can either play them by tapping the button or rolling it. Right, next to the sample buttons we've got overdub. When you engage this, it's going to create a 4-beat loop that you play in. And it doesn't start the recording until you press the button. Even if you don't play it in perfectly, because you've got quantize engaged, it will retrospectively quantize the loop so it's perfectly in time. And then you can adjust all the parts. Right, you don't have to use just one button. So you can have multiple parts on the go within the loops that you create. Right, if you do a part and you don't like it, you can delete it out. Or you can mute the parts out so you can bring them back in at a later date. Once you've got a loop recorded, you can actually roll the loops to create fills. So if I only want the X-Pad roll to come in now and again, I can just mute that part off. Right, the next section I'm going to show you is the release effects. Over here you've got 3 choices. You've got a vinyl break, an echo and a backspin. And this here controls different parameters for each. Yeah? So if I've got it on vinyl break, that controls the... If you put it halfway, it'll break slowly. Put it all the way down, it'll break fast. With the echo, if you put it halfway, you get a slow echo. Put it to the bottom, you get a fast echo. Really useful. Right, over here we've got back spin halfway down, and just continue to spin back until eventually it stops. If you pull it down, it'll do a fast spin back. When you do the release effect, it resets the rest of the unit back to off position. So if I've got a loop going, say I'm adjusting stuff and now I want it to go back, just reset the loop and it's gone now. Right then, next section I'm going to show you is the isolate effects section. Right then, this can either be applied to the effects part of the input or individually in whichever combination you want. Right, so isolate or EQ, that's like kill EQs on a DJM. Gives you a lot of control. And the cut-off frequencies can be adjusted within the RMX software. It's really accurate EQ. Next to the isolator button we've got cut and add. Right then. When you turn the pots to the left, they become filters. That can act like a kill as well. When you turn it to the right, it adds a delay effect. And the further you turn it round to the right, the faster the echo plays. Really cool for making it sound completely different. Right, over here we've got transform and roll. Transforms for like when you're using scratching, so the top one's there to the left and the bottom one's there to the right. Turn it fully, you'll see it. You can imagine rolling your fresh and your and your scratch sounds through there. Right, roll is similar to the roll that we've got here, except this only acts on a certain frequency. So what it's going to do here, this is going to have kick drums. This one's going to have claps. Cool. Over here to do the hi-hat. Right, next over here we've got gate and drive. To be honest, drive on this sounds completely amazing. I use it all the time. As soon as you turn this up, it just sounds like you're completely in a club. Maybe not for these two, but definitely on the bass it sounds amazing. I've done that a couple of times in a club and everybody goes mental. Right, so next to here we've got the gate. Yeah, this is a standard gate, but it's really, really tight. Really does carve out the sound, bits of the sound. So if you just wanted to hear the drum from a track, this is how to do it. Right then. Again, with these sections, these can be reset by using the release effect. So if it gets some, you can see how they all work together, and this release effects, this is how you get out of your effects, because before mixing it back to just dry, it don't cause enough of a disturbance for it to sound right. Right, over here we've got the scene effects. Right, the scene effects are split into two halves. We've got build-up effects and we have got breakdown effects. Right, and this controls, as Pioneer put it, the strength of the effect. So these are the parameters for the effect. So like, let's say I decided to use noise. This is going to control the the loudness of the noise, and this is going to control the LFO. I'll turn it up so we can hear it. This is the loudness, and this is the LFO. And this is like a high pass filter. As soon as you knock it down, it all comes back in. It sounds amazing. Right, we've got a bandpass filter echo. So engage this. Speed of the echo. This is a Q. Got echo. Speed of the echo. And that's your filter. Spiral up, this sounds like a tape delay. Move this over to echo, we'll use this a couple of times. Reverb, what I like doing with reverb is I like to make it sound like it's a large room, and then I like to make it sound like it's changing to a small room. You do that by turning the knob back. Doesn't happen instantly, but you get some really cool space effects with it. Right, down here we've got the breakdown ones. These are basically for taking like out the bass, so it sounds like you're going to the breakdown. It sounds really cool. High pass filter echo. Low pass filter echo, so we've got an LFO here, and speed. Takes you to, sounds like you've got nothing left. And then straight back in, so we've got crush, this is like digital distortion. And every time you do it, bass drops back in, it's smashing cool every time. Right, so we've got spiral down, this is the opposite of spiral up, it's tape delay. Sounds like we made some mess on your reel. Sounds better when you use the echo with that effect, to be honest. Got reverb down here. To be honest, it sounds like you're sinking into the earth. Sounds really cool at certain times of the night. Right, so with this unit you're supposed to use all three parts in conjunction. You don't have to have the X-pad going through your isolator.